Yo, what's happening? I guess this is day 2 or part 2 or vlog number 2 of trying to document my day-to-day life. We're headed to the shop right now. Still knocking out those golf hats for the client. Probably try to do somewhere between 1 and 2 dozen hats today. I don't do all of it in one shot. I'll just kind of knock it out as I'm here pressing up shirts. I'll turn on the machine and knock stuff out. That client gives me a pretty good deadline, so I could take my time on it. We could also put different jobs in the middle of doing that job. If we have like a short run, somebody just needs a dozen or something, I could actually knock that out in between doing these golf hats. So go over there, knock out some more hats. I got to press up shirts. I got to restock a lot of the shirts for the store because the last time we opened the store, I sold out of a lot of stuff. So I'm going to take care of some of the LA shirts, the one with the LA with the chucks, and it says, "This city don't love you." I need more black. I think large or extra large, and I'll press up some of those and then see what else we're low on for the actual store. If you guys didn't know, I have a retail store. Also, I have the online store, but I try to keep the retail store stuff stocked up for every time that we open. And I usually just open on the weekends. If I'm not out vending, if I'm not busy on that weekend, I'll open the store up. So you got to follow me on Instagram to know when I'm going to be in the store. Sometimes the store is open and I'm just not there, so I don't post it. But the days that I am there, I try to post on Instagram in case anybody wanted to kind of stop by and say what's up or chop it up or whatever it is. So we're going to head there now. I'm going to check the inventory. I'm going to knock out some hats and press up some shirts. This is what it's like, I guess, running and operating a store and a shop. All right, so this is how bad I am at vlogging. I already started cutting down some transfers. I already knocked out a few hats, but I need to start checking out what sizes I need to reprint for the store. So I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like right now. So this is how I have everything stocked up. These are the size smalls. We got large, extra large, and double X. I know for a fact we don't have no more smalls of that LA shirt, so I need to do those. We only have blue in size large. I know I need some larges. Same thing with extra large. We only have blue left, so I need to run extra large, large, small, mediums on the other side, and then some double X, because it looks like we have a few blue double X left. We only have one blue extra large, 2 blue of large, and no blue of the smalls. So if we check over here on the medium side, I don't think we have any. Nope. So I got to run basically almost every size in that t-shirt. So let's get it going. All right, so transfers, gang sheets, all sliced down already. This is the design we're talking about. This city don't love you. You might not be able to see the white at the bottom, but inside the text has all the LA landmarks. And then this is the front print, left chest print. As you could see, LA with the chucks is my logo. So we're gonna knock those down onto these t-shirts right here. We're using my Heat Press Nation Signature Pro Heat Press. You guys might notice that this little Teflon cover looks a little different than this one back here. I'm testing out a few different ones because I am in the process of trying to offer you guys some of these since so many people ask about it. So I'm testing out a few different manufacturers of actually making these and showing how they hold up. So I'm going through the testing process right now for you guys. But I have it on my Heat Press Nation Signature Pro press. I know it fits this press. I also know that it fits my Ricoma press, so that's cool where it's a universal fit for a few different presses. This thing's heating up. We need it to be 320 degrees, 15 seconds. I press with heavy pressure on my Sure pressure knob. I have it set to 60. It's usually around 55, 60. That to me works on this press, but that's not a universal number for everybody to be at 60. This is just for your own visual reference. So let's say 60 is my heavy pressure for t-shirts. So I know I'll write down 60 is heavy pressure for t-shirts. And if I have to do any hoodies, I know I could back that off, and then I'll find the heavy pressure for hoodies. Let's say hoodies is 45. I'll back it off to 45. So then that way I write that down, and I'll know what to be at whenever I'm doing t-shirts or hoodies, because those are the two main things that I press on using this heat press. So every time that I'm at, like, let's say I'm pressing some hoodies and then I need to knock out some t-shirts, instead of trying to find the heavy pressure all over again, I know I could just turn that knob to 60. I'll be ready for t-shirts. And oh shit, now I need to do some more hoodies. I know I just back it off to 45 and I'm ready to do hoodies. That number on that gauge is just for your own visual reference. Every single press, everything is going to be different for everybody. So just because I press at 60 doesn't mean you need to be at 60. That's just what works for me. How do you find your heavy pressure? Clamp that sucker all the way down till you can't close it, then back it off a few turns. Until you could clamp it and close it, that's going to be your heaviest pressure. But make sure you do that test with an actual t-shirt laying down right here. Don't do it empty. Put a t-shirt down, then start trying to get that heavy pressure. Now you know that's the heaviest pressure for t-shirts on your press. Same thing goes for tank tops, same thing goes for hoodies. Do that test for everything, write that number down, you're good to go. But remember, this is the Heat Press Nation Signature Pro heat press. Has that sure pressure knob. That's what I'm talking about in this one right here. So hopefully that helps somebody out. Let's get to pressing. All right, check it out. We're ready to press. Here's my t-shirts. I already have my labels pre-printed into my blank t-shirts. All the buckets that I have over there filled with t-shirts already have my label in there. As blank t-shirts come in and I'm using them for my own branded stuff, if I'm selling it in my store, first thing I do is rip out that label, press my new labels in, and then I stock it up as blank t-shirts. So that way I could just pull them, press them. But these are Shaka Activewear blank t-shirts. That's what I print on. There's my label. For anybody asking, my label measures inside of a 2x2 square. I choose that size because it fits my circle logo in there. Cool. They do not have to be measured inside of a 2" by 2" square. That's just what I choose to do. You can make your labels whatever size you want. So we're going to lay this t-shirt down. Hopefully you guys can see this. This is how I figure out if my t-shirt's straight. I pull down on the armpits on both sides where the sleeve meets the body of the shirt. Right inside that little ditch where the armpit goes, I pull down on both sides and I see if it feels even on both sides. You could feel if one side of the shirt is leaning a lot longer or a lot higher than the other side, and you just adjust. That's it. Collar goes all the way over the edge. I want a nice, smooth, even pressing surface. We're gonna pre-press the t-shirt here. Make sure there's no smoke or steam coming up. When people see smoke, it's really steam, and they start to figure out like, oh man, I'm burning my shirts. You just wanna get the steam out of there. Now, we're using Supacolor Transfers. Like I said, these are already cut down from a gang sheet. My left chest prints, I go based on the collar, straight down from the collar. So where the collar meets the shoulder of the t-shirt, right here. This is a Stussy t-shirt. Where that little point where the collar meets the shoulder, if you go straight down, that's where you lay it down. And I'm going 4 fingers down from the collar. So here's the collar, 4 fingers down. This is where Stussy places theirs. This is what it looks like, right over the heart. That's exactly what I do. So I'm going straight from the peak in the collar, where the collar meets the shoulder, straight down. I'm going 4 fingers down from there, and I'm gonna place my transfer right there. Now, this is a little veteran move for you guys. If you guys have a press just like mine, I like to mark my press. I have 2 pieces of tape inside of here. One piece of tape shows the center of the press. The other piece of tape shows where the collar meets the shoulder of the t-shirt, so I know where the left chest prints land. This is just for visual reference to make things way easier on yourself. I like to just look at it, be like, oh shit, all right, 4 fingers down. I'm gonna lay my transfer right there. I know that I'm aligned with this piece of tape and I'm ready to go. Once again, heavy pressure. This is gonna be based on just what feels heavy to you. Press it down until you can't clamp no more. Back it off a few turns till you can actually get it to clamp down. This is a hot peel transfer also. Peel it up hot. And we're gonna do a quick last press just for a few seconds because Supacolor says so. I don't know what it does, but they recommend it. So I'm gonna do it since they recommend it. There it is. Let's do the back now. You guys seen this design before, but I'll show you guys a little close-up of what it looks like. Now, when I do back prints on t-shirts, I lay the front of the collar all the way over the edge. So the front of the collar lays over the edge. A lot of people like to put their t-shirts right at the edge and the collar's here. If you press down on this, you're gonna get a crazy indentation of the front of the collar showing through the back of the shirt. So in order to avoid that, I lay the collar all the way over the edge. When I say collar, I'm talking about the front of the collar goes over the edge for back prints. Same exact thing, pull down on the armpits. When you pull down on the armpits, you'll feel if one side's higher than the other. Make sure it feels pretty nice and straight. When you do that, if your t-shirt's not straight, your transfer won't be straight. It doesn't matter how many rulers or how many laser gauges you have. If the t-shirt is skewed and the t-shirt is crooked, your transfer is going to be crooked. So you want to make sure the t-shirt is laying down straight. There's no visual gauge. There's no rulers you can use to see if the t-shirt's straight. Go based on feel. Pull down on the armpits, pull down on the sides. You'll be able to feel if one side's higher than the other. And once it feels basically even on both sides, then you know your t-shirt's straight. Then you can use your rulers and your laser guides and whatever, or just eyeball the back print or the front print, whatever you're doing. But if your t-shirt's not straight, this transfer will not lay down straight, all right? So when I do back prints, I go fairly close to the top. Remember, we have the collar laying all the way over the edge. I place the transfer fairly close to the edge. This basically always makes sure that the print is gonna land right in between your shoulder blades. I don't like when the print's like right up on the collar, like right up here. That doesn't look cool to me when it's being worn, so I hate doing that. So what I like to do is I make sure that it's coming down just the collar's length, so then that way it lands in between the shoulder blades and it looks cool when you're wearing it. So that's my gauge. There's no fingers down or none of that. It's just try to get it close to the edge and go for it. So once again, I have the center of the press mark, right? I know this is the center of the design because that's how the design is laid out. So I'm basically going lined up with this. If you don't have a piece of tape here, my hydraulic pump in the back is the center of the press. I try to make sure that the center of that is meeting up with the center of the actual transfer. Hopefully these tips right here help somebody. I say it a lot in a lot of other videos, Instagram, TikTok, and stuff like that. I just don't know if it comes across. So hopefully it's coming across to the YouTube audience here. All right. And we're gonna repress it again for a few seconds. Like I said, Supacolor recommends it. And we're done. Front print, back print. Hope you guys actually like this type of vlog stuff while I'm working. Judging by the response from the last one, sounds like some people want it. So I'm gonna continue to do it for you guys. It's gonna get a little repetitive though because everything's always the same. Pressing shirts, stitching hats. Next time I open up the store, I'll be sure to break out the camera, show you guys what that's like in preparation of opening, and then also what it's like the day of opening, and try to get some people on the camera. I always feel kind of weird with that. It's like I'm gonna be like shoving the camera in people's face or the microphone in somebody's face that's coming in. Kind of feels weird. So I don't know if I'll do that, but maybe I'll just set the camera up so you guys can see what it looks like when people are coming in and how we ring up orders and stuff like that. For the people that are wondering, I use Shopify for my register and how to track orders and process credit cards live in person. So I do that whether it's at an actual event or if it's at like here at the store. I try to get as many, I try to update the inventory on the app. It's the point of sale app through Shopify. I try to keep that up to date as much as possible. It's kind of easy to do on the fly. You could use your phone and do it through the app. You could use the iPad. I use the iPad here. When I'm out vending, sometimes I'll vend with my phone and I'll have the Bluetooth card reader, or sometimes I'll bring the iPad. My iPad is the one that like you buy a data plan with, so that way I could vend if there's no Wi-Fi or something. I could actually vend out in person. It's just easier for me to do it that way. I know some people get iPads that just operate off of Wi-Fi. I feel there is a need to have a data plan on it if you are vending out in public a lot. Here at the shop, it's just running off of Wi-Fi. But when I'm out in public and I'm actually vending, that's when, you know, it'll be good to have a data plan in case there's no Wi-Fi at the venue that you're vending at. And you could still process credit cards and everything will be good. So hope that helps some people out. I know there's people that wonder about that. That to me is the easiest way to do it. Also, there's some people that are kind of curious about the store. Like, how do you charge for sales tax and stuff like that? Everything is done through the point of sale app. So Shopify has this dope app that'll do everything. It'll track everything from inventory to sales tax to calculate everything for you. It's kind of a no-brainer. I'm not the smartest dude, and Shopify makes it easy for dumb dudes like myself to make some money. So if you're not using Shopify, I highly suggest it. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get paid by them to talk about them. At one point, I did try to sign up to become an influencer. Oh, the embroidery machine's done. For Shopify, but I didn't talk about Shopify enough on my channel for them to accept me. And I was like, man, well, I'm not just gonna make like some free content for you guys. Like, we gotta have some kind of partnership or something going forward for me to actually create the content. They weren't going for it. So we never ended up working together. So that's why you don't see any sponsored stuff by them, but I still use them. Doesn't mean they're a bad company. It just means we couldn't see eye to eye on creating content. But actually running my whole platform off of it, game changer. For me, it's a game changer. Hopefully this helps somebody out there. Hopefully these vlogs right here help somebody get a little bit of information. I try to pack in as much information as possible when it comes to this stuff. I know I ramble. I know that everything seems repetitive, but this is just the day-to-day of actually working in this shop, pressing shirts, selling shirts, stitching up hats. This is how it works out, all right? So I appreciate you guys for watching. If you guys want to see more vlogs and stuff like this, please let me know. The feedback is good, because if the feedback is negative, then I'll stop it. But if the feedback is still good and you guys are getting a little bit of information out of this stuff, then I'll keep it going, all right? So I appreciate you guys. I noticed on the last vlog, I didn't even sign the thing off or anything like that. Kind of just cut it as is. So this is all new to me. So the format's gonna keep changing. We'll see how things work out, but I appreciate you guys. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.